Okay, awesome. It's so funny to rewatch these because I start okay, awesome at the beginning of every single interview. But welcome back, everyone that is tuning in live on Facebook. I am Christy Freeze, and this is the Resources Within Reach series, which is a segment of the Share the Care show. So each and every Thursday night, I bring on a resource that is within reach that you may not know about, or maybe would love to learn a little bit more about. So this Thursday, I'm so excited to have Anita here with me. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Christy. I'm excited to be here too.
You're so welcome. So a lot of people kind of know the flow of this, but I just want to kind of give you, if you're brand new, just the flow in which we are going to go through. I've shared a little bit about myself. I am Christy Freeze, founder of Care by Christy. And then we are going to just kind of take a deep dive into meeting Anita, learning about the senior center and all the things that surround that. And then once this is wrapped up, you can catch the replay wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast. You can also catch us here, of course, on Facebook, and then the replay will be on YouTube. So thanks again so much for everyone that is tuning in, and let's just get right to it. Anita, thank you so much again, of course, for being here. And I would love if you would just start off by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about you.
Okay, get to talk about myself. Well, I'm Anita Boone, and I've had the honor and pleasure of working with Christy in a variety of different settings the past few years. And I've been at BCSSI, Boone County Senior Services, for about 8 years. And I love what I do, and we all love what we do here. And I hope that by the end of this little program, you will see our passion, or you will feel it. I am not from Boone County originally, but I made it here through marriage several years ago and was so excited to be able to find this place to work and pour my heart and soul into, like I said, about 8 years ago. So I originally am from Tippecanoe County, graduated from Purdue, and started out in bank marketing. And then actually through my volunteer work, someone linked me up with a senior service organization in the Lafayette area, and that's where I found my passion for older adults. And since then, I haven't looked back. And that's what got me to where I am today. So excited to talk about that.
Yes. So that's so interesting to hear the 8-year, because I was earlier today trying to figure out when we maybe initially met. And I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago when you were in facility marketing.
Yes. Yeah. And then we've just stayed together.
Yeah, well, you have to.
Yes, and you do a really, really, really great job. I know that as we continue through this, people will, of course, hear your passion and learn more about the senior center, but even just being able to kind of pivot through COVID, it's been very interesting and fascinating to watch you guys still stay connected.
Yes, indeed. And it's been personally difficult for me, but that's just simply because we miss our people.
Yeah.
And we had to kind of pivot and figure out ways that we could stay connected to our people in a virtual environment when we weren't able to be with them in person. And really, that's what BCSSI is all about, is relationships. And so in 2020, that gave us a challenge. How are we still going to continue those relationships, which are critical? They're at the heart of what we do. And we found ways to do that. We not only did some of our own programming like this on social media, but we connected with about 150 people each month that we weren't seeing in person. So our whole management team just took to the phones, to writing letters, to texting, just trying to figure out ways that we could not only make sure that people were doing okay, and if there was anything that they needed, but also just to continue to develop our friendships. These are our people, and we missed them. We were close for about 5 months, and that was hard. But during that time, we also never stopped doing transportation. And we also continue to do our in-home services for those people who still wanted us to come into their homes. So there are people that, even though COVID has been devastating in many ways, there are other things that we know needed to still have our attention. For example, getting people to their medical appointments, cancer treatments, dialysis.
Those things still happen.
Those things are still going on every day. You're right, Christy. And there are people that still had to get to work.
Right.
As you know, our public transportation program is for people of all ages. So it's important for people to know that even though most of what we do is for people over age 60, transportation is not. It's for people of all ages. So we're taking kiddos to school. We're taking people to work. We are making sure that people have their groceries and get their hair done and get to visit with their friends. Whatever they need to do, if they don't have a vehicle or have access to one at this time, Boone Area Transit System is something to keep in mind.
I love seeing that. Whenever I see Boone Area Transit van or anything, I don't know why, it just makes me feel a little bit joyful. I'm like, oh, and I have met many of these drivers, and they are across the board incredible. I kind of just want to be taken somewhere to hang out.
Yeah, you should. And they are everywhere. It's kind of funny. I've been places like even out of town because we do cross county lines in some cases. And so I've been in other communities and I'm like, holy cow, that's a BATS van. That's Boone Area Transit System. I better wave. That's our driver.
That's
so yeah, they keep very busy right now. We actually are in need of drivers.
Okay.
And men and women who have a passion for people.
Yeah.
What we're looking for. They're flexible positions and they're out and about in all kinds of weather. So we're very grateful for them.
Yeah, they do an incredible job. So thank you so much for sharing that. I also kind of want to come back just a little bit to the personal service. I know I saw Cindy on Tuesday morning, so she got to share with us a little bit just kind of how that has still continued, essentially. So I would love if you could tell us just a little bit about that program.
Absolutely. I think that's one of our hidden gems here at BCSSI. We sort of have a three-pronged approach where transportation is our most visible program, obviously, because we have those vans out there running around everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the senior center activities, workshops, caregiver support, those kind of things are in our Lebanon site as well as in our Zionsville area. But personal services, since that's something that we do in the home, those caregivers can go in and do non-medical care for your loved one Monday through Friday during the daytime hours. And that might be helping prepare a meal, cleaning their home, running errands, reminding them to take their meds, anything that's non-medical. We are certified by the Indiana State Department of Health as a personal services agency. That's our designation. And our caregivers, which are currently all women, are trained and certified, and they are amazing, and they will make you feel comfortable if you have a loved one that you'd like to get some services. I also want to mention for your caregivers, Christy, that respite is something that is really in need nowadays as we're living longer and we're supporting each other, taking care of our loved ones in the home. Our caregivers through this personal services division can also provide respite support. So if you're a caregiver, you want to leave to go run some errands, have lunch with your friends.
Yeah.
We can bring in a trained caregiver to sit with your care recipient, and you can get out and do what you need to do and feel confident that we're taking care of your loved one.
I love that. We actually mentioned that just last night on the Share the Care show.
Oh, cool.
Because respite is something I think, I talk a lot about knowing the kind of key vocabulary because I think we use it so interchangeably sometimes within this space that sometimes people don't know what we're talking about. And so we really kind of unpacked what a respite stay or a respite experience might look like. So this is an incredible, you're right, a hidden gem is a perfect way to categorize it because the story that Cindy shared with us on Tuesday was that this lady specifically is being treated like a queen in her home and maybe would have never got to experience that, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, that's that's one of our main goals here, is to try to keep people living independently as long as we can, as long as it's safe and that that's what they want. And so I think it's perfect that you kind of went through the respite explanation last night, and that now we can kind of highlight something that we can do in that area. And I really do feel like that BCSSI is a mystery in many, many ways. We're all aging, but sometimes we don't want to admit that. Right. And so to become familiar with our organization may seem a little premature, but we really encourage people to get to know us before they even need us. So you may not need transportation now, you may not need in-home services, you may not be anywhere near 60, but just become familiar or get to know us, because you might need our supports for a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, other individuals that are special to you. And what we're trying to do is support you as you become involved in this whole aging process.
Oh, I love that. That was beautifully said. I know I keep talking about what we talked about last night, but we talked about last night having a proactive approach to this versus a reactive approach. And so, I don't know, we plan for so many things in our life, and this is kind of, we skate around it because we're fearful, or we're not going to stop the aging process by not talking about it. And so if it's inevitable, I would personally rather be supported and proactive and at least feel educated and maybe even personally connected, so that way when the time comes, or if the time comes, I can just pick up the phone or send an email and I know who I'm talking to.
Exactly. Become familiar with us. And I haven't met anybody yet that isn't aging, and something that you can't run from. So it's really, there's so many things that are fun that we do. All of our activities in the building, once we can get back into action. I was talking to a lady today on the phone about, our art classes and our craft classes and our computer instruction and tech support. We do lunches and we do bus trips, and we'll get back to doing those things again. I promise. We just have to be patient. We're not always the most patient, but the things that we are bringing back gradually are connecting us, and we're starting to get some small groups in to re-engage, and that's really working out great, because with our parameters, we're following the guidelines of the Boone County Health Department. We want to make sure we keep everybody safe. So the small groups really works out perfectly.
That space you have.
To big groups, and it's gonna be good again. It's good right now. We never gave up on, and it's been so cool, because sometimes before, like, we all had people we were checking on, and sometimes before I could even check on some of the people that I had in mind, they would call and check on me. And I was like, are you kidding? You just are amazing. And you made my day. We are so blessed here at Beyond. We have about 37 employees here, and they're all so passionate about what they do that when I came here, I was in awe, because I thought, oh my goodness, these people they really like what they do here.
They love it here.
I'm not always used to that, so
it is not as common as we would like it to be. I think like you mentioned with COVID being rocky and trying for all of us, I am a positive Penny until I'm blue in the face. And so I am here to tell you that there are so many hidden gems that have come from this that we can now build upon. There are some things that will get to go back to normal, and that's incredible. But we also now have new ways and innovative ways to connect and stay. I have shared this almost every Thursday night, it seems like, but her name is Dr. Joan Rosenberg, and she said that we are to stay physically distant and socially connected. And that socially distant was maybe a little bit wrongly coined, because yes, we do need to stay 6 feet apart or keep our distance, but we also still need to stay socially connected in whatever way that makes sense to you. So I really love it that you guys are just plugging right along, you mentioned bus trips and the honey trip. It used to
That
pop
was
up.
one of our best.
Oh, I had so much fun.
We had a blast.
Oh, where was the honey farm at? I can't remember.
Hunter's Honey Farm. That's
Okay.
down south of Indianapolis. And remember, we went to that lovely cafe where we had to like help people. We were like serving.
Yes.
That was one of our best. And those are just, you talk about hidden gems and those places that we found throughout Indiana.
That antique shop.
Yeah, they're just such great adventures and right here in our state. And so we'll get back to doing that. And then a lot of people like to go on our multi-day trips.
Yes.
And again, we just have to be patient, wait a little longer. But we do have a newsletter that I know you follow closely, Christy, because you've commented on many things that are in there that I would encourage people, if they're not already getting it, to sign up to get it either electronically, or if you would rather get it by mail, we can also still mail that, of course. And it's currently, you could get onto our website at boonseniors.org to pull up the newsletter, which is called Senior Sounds. And it highlights all the things that are going on. It comes out every other month. So the issue that you'll find right now is about to wrap up because it only goes through the end of February, but a great way to stay connected.
Yeah, and I will drop all of these links in the comments once we're finished here tonight. So if you missed that, don't worry. We'll drop it in the comments for you so you can check it out. I do love it. Cool. I like to get it in person, like paper. I like to have it.
You get hard copy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I'm still always going to live by a paper.
It's kind of like a magazine. You like to flip through it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So it's so great that you guys do that. What else do I have for you? You've really done a great job kind of giving us the spiel. Is there anything else that you can think of at the moment?
The other thing is just to know that we have a lot of different ways that we support caregivers. And I know that is the core of who you are and what you do. Yeah. And so we, again, will be starting up our caregiver support group. We also have a caregiver newsletter that is intentional for those people who are on that journey. And we want to be an information and referral source as well. You do an amazing job connecting your group that follows you with resources throughout the community and in general, but we also have a great resource database, and you can also walk in and pick up things. Currently, we're open in Lebanon Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and we have not reopened in our Zionsville office yet. Okay. We do have an office in the Zionsville Town Hall, but it's currently still closed due to the health pandemic. But we're open in Lebanon, and we would invite you to stop by at 515 Crown Point Drive, which is adjacent to Witham Hospital, but we're kind of tucked back in so nobody drives by. So we would love you to come visit. Mask up and come in and let us show you all the resources that we have here that might be of help to you.
I just love being there. It's just a great place to be. So if you are watching and you are like, what's this about? I highly encourage and invite you to truly just stop in and get a feel for it. You know, there's no harm in doing that. And then I've been asking this of everyone each and every week, but I would love to hear your favorite soul care or self-care practice that you do when you feel a little wobbly or just to keep yourself aligned.
Well, I am a pretty blessed person. I'm very connected to my faith, my family, my friends. And this year I have started kind of getting back to journaling. So I bought a new journal that I have been making a practice of every evening and sitting down and just reflecting on my day and some areas maybe that I need to improve. some areas that I am very thankful for. And when you sit down and you look at it all and you reflect, I guess it just all kind of flows together, and you can see where, so far for me, it's just been so cool to see that it was a pretty good day. It was a really good day, and I can see what opportunities I have for growth and people that I, am thinking about, that I want to pray for, and just, what I might need to do as next steps. So that's been something I kind of started doing again, just within the past month.
Yeah.
To wrap up my day.
I love that so much. I talk a lot about gratitude lists, which is essentially what you're doing amidst that journaling process. And even, like you said, even when you maybe feel, not that you've had a bad day, but you maybe don't realize the magnitude of how great the day actually was. And when you list 3 things, 5 things, let's say 3 things to make it less daunting, it is incredible when you list the things that you are grateful for, how many more things to be grateful for come into your life.
It's already started to be that way for me, and I can't wait to get the journal full.
Yes.
And then be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, this is good. And it can be little things. Like I've put my warm slippers and my warm blanket on my gratitude list and my, my gas fireplace, with it being as cold as it's been. A lot of my grateful things have to do with keeping me warm.
I have my space
I'm not gonna lie.
Here. I've got backup sweaters. Yeah. I'm right with you. Yeah, nothing is too small to be grateful for.
Right. Oh no, put it down.
Put it down for sure. And I very much, so I'm also doing a journaling practice. You actually may know Hallie Simpson. She spoke at a few
I've got the same journal.
Yes, you do? Amazing.
Yes, I've got the same journal.
Oh my goodness. So I'm on day 34, I think.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Well,
you got yours right away. I started late.
That's okay. No, you started just when you were supposed to. But it is so fascinating that I don't have, I used to be very rigid with some of those routines. And so it allows you to not have to feel that and do it when it feels good. I don't know. I just
let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
That's so cool.
Yes, I love that we're doing this together.
I know. She's got some great programs, some great workshops, and this is her brand new journal. So yeah, I would invite everybody to check out Hallie's website as well.
We'll drop that in the comments. Everybody should check it
girl.
out. Awesome. Well, is there anything before we wrap this up that you can think of to share? Is there anything that we've missed?
We just appreciate being able to be a resource for you, Christy. We've been in Boone County for 42 years, but we often get calls from people who might be in a journey in another community in Indiana or even out of state, and we will try to help. We'll still try to help. So if there are questions that people have, you can connect with us by phone, of course, email, our website, and social media. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, even if you are not in Boone County, Indiana. Love it. Thank you for having me, and we're here to help.
Yes, and thank you so much. I know I've said this a few times, but you guys do an incredible job. You are such a gift to our community and to the surrounding communities for all of the work that you do, and it is apparent that those 37 people all feel as passionate and connected as you do, because it shines through this organization. So I'm just so grateful to know you and to work alongside
you. Me too. I love it. I don't feel like it's a job. And I think you feel the same way about what you're doing now. It's like, it's in your blood, and you're passionate, and
it's fun. It's so fun. And I think when people see that it is fun and it is exciting and it is available, it removes some of that hesitation and some of that fear. And that's what I'm here to do. I don't want any of this to be scary and fearful. I want you to feel welcome and confident to
we're happy to come alongside you. We want to help people age well too. So
Yes.
whatever we can do to help, we plan to be around for a long, long
40
time.
more years.
You got it.
Awesome.
You
Well,
got
thank
it.
you so very much. I so appreciate you. And we will put all of the goodness in the comments below. And feel free to reach out to Anita and her team. And that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye.
Christy.
You're
Bye.
welcome.